Hello, everybody.
Let's see if we're there.
We
Come
are
on.
there.
There we go.
We're there, right?
We're there.
Hello, everybody.
This
Welcome.
is Danny and Wanda from the big old Deep South Homestead.
And we're warm today. We've had
Yeah, it
our
was
little
kind
bit
of
of cool spell, but we didn't get what everybody else. I'm watching the chat, and quite a few of them have cool. Some of them have had rain. Some of them have had cold and snow. And I mean,
a
we
little
just
bit of it
had,
all.
we've had some cool weather,
We
but
had
not
we had
cold.
some chilly weather. It was in the low 40s, but for the most part, the low 40s at night, 60s and 70s during the day.
Yeah.
But today got up to 80 degrees.
I feel like I'm having to turn around and look at you. I don't know how we got so off.
Oh well.
Oh, so let's see. I see a lot of people popping in. I don't even know how many's in there, but a lot of
A
people.
lot of people's in.
And so we've been really busy this week. We've been having a hard time keeping up with everything and getting everything done because we've had a lot of projects.
We've had a lot of projects this week. This has been one of them weeks where our rest has been sweet.
Yeah.
We hadn't had any problem going to sleep, that's for sure.
And we've stayed at the cabin almost every night this week.
Yeah.
And when you're tired and you shut everything down here and you go to the cabin and it's quiet and peaceful, and what, 2 nights you built a fire?
Yeah, 2 nights I built a fire in one morning.
Yeah.
No, 2 mornings. I'm sorry. Two nights and 2 mornings I built a fire at the cabin.
And so it was really nice. We didn't need a fire because it was in the 60s. It was probably what, 65, 68, maybe.
What?
When you built a fire.
At night?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was about 65 degrees, and I wanted the cabin to be at least 71 because I knew by the next morning it would already be back down in the low 50s again in the cabin.
Yeah, so it was just nice and cozy because we didn't think we'd get another fire this year, and
probably our last fires for the year.
You said that, and we got 3 more, so we might get another one. But it's quiet. There's no noise. We have no humming, no lights, no washing machines, no nothing over there. No internet, nothing.
Yeah, everybody's talking about it's buffering bad. Guys, we have weather coming in. I'm sitting here looking at my thing. It shows the router shows it's okay.
Then it goes in and out.
But the signal's showing that it's weak.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're actively trying to enjoy our cabin a little bit. And guys, we got ridiculed this week about not having ear protection for one of the videos where we were actually getting firewood. Well, the only time there was really any loud noise was when we were using the big chainsaw. It's the only one that makes noise, and the bottom line is this: most people live around more noise than what we were hearing there. I mean, when you stop and think about if you live next to a main road, you got cars going by all day long. It's noises that you become familiar with. That's why it doesn't seem like it's noisy to you. But yet when you hear a chainsaw going, wah, you think, oh, you need ear protection. Well, I mean, it's not the best thing in the world for your ears.
If we were doing it all day constantly, it might be a little different. But for the most part, the big chainsaw was only going, what, maybe 5 minutes or less.
Maybe 5 minutes at a time.
And that was every 30 minutes to an hour because they were moving more junk than they were actually doing chainsaw work that day. And Amanda and I had
they had the electric chainsaws.
Electric chainsaws, which make very little noise.
They don't make any noise. The only thing you hear on it is the turning of the chain.
So we were really not doing anything that we should have gotten in trouble. And this one is a former logger. He logged for many, many years. So he knows the ins and outs of chainsaws. He knows what it will work and what won't. And he was instructing us on how to cut, what to cut. You just don't see it on this because I had music.
We had music and we had a lot of things cut out of the video.
Yeah, because we were talking continuously. And
two, people talking about the noise. I mean, when you live in a town and all you hear is wah, 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 fire truck coming through or fire, sirens going all the time. And ambulances and cars and, you know, jet
loud
planes, loud radios, you know, coming through all the time.
Neighbors yelling at each other.
People screaming and hollering and stuff like that.
Dogs barking. They
don't think anything about noise. That's more noise than anything we had out here. You know, because we're all about in the country where there's just nothing.
You had no safety pants on. No.
No, I didn't have safety pants on. I logged for 15 years, sawing with a chainsaw every day. I've never even been nicked with a chainsaw. They didn't have that such thing whenever I was logging. They brought it out right at the end of whenever I got ready to quit. And we put them on in this heat down here. And I told them, I said, there ain't no way I'm wearing these in this heat. The insurance company says, well, you've got to wear them or we can't have insurance on you. I said, well, then you know what? It's time for me to quit because you can't, in the kind of heat we have, you can't wear them chaps. You'll burn slam up in them. You'll dehydrate in no time. So I told him, I said, I'm not doing it.
This is why I had nothing on my arms. I overheat.
Yeah.
I'm an older woman that has hot flashes. Get outside, I have hot flashes and the heat, I can't handle it. So I have to wear something that lets me breathe anyway. There was no way I could wear long sleeves out there and work. You know, that's just not who I am. So we grew up in an era of not being...
We grew up in an era when you ride a bicycle, you ain't got to have a helmet. You don't have to have knee pads. You don't have to have elbow pads.
If you wrecked,
Mama just put methylate, mercurochrome, or whatever,
something on you, go again.
Kicked you in the butt and said, get up and do it again. You know, You're not like, oh, baby, are you hurt? Oh, my God, I hope you didn't hit yourself hard, you know. We didn't grow up in
kiss the bobo.
Let mama kiss the bobo. No, we didn't grow up in that kind of era. We grew up in an era. Get up, boy. You ain't hurt. Are you bleeding? Then you'll be all right. You know, I mean,
go try again.
Yeah, that's the way we grew up. You know, we don't live in a make believe world.
Yeah, I mean, I had a wreck on a 10-speed. My second bike was a 3-speed. I got it at Christmas, and it was the prettiest white 3-speed you've ever seen. It was gorgeous. It was a girl's bike. 1 week after Christmas, my bike was stolen. My sister and I had one just alike. Hers stayed on the porch. Mine got stolen. Never did see that bike again. So I was really upset because I didn't get to ride the bike but less than a week and somebody took it. So Daddy went and bought me another bike, but I couldn't get another 3-speed like that. They were sold out. So I picked out a boy's 10-speed.
Oh, one with a bar in it.
Yeah. And no brakes. First time I've ever had one with no brakes. Well, I finally learned to ride it really well, got going, and I even rode people on the bar. My sisters and other kids, we'd have kids in the neighborhood that'd get up on the bar. I'm on a 10-speed riding around with the kid on the bar, and we wrecked one day.
Yeah.
It wasn't pretty, but neither one of us broke anything. We skinned a lot of stuff, but that wasn't the only time.
No, I mean, Prairie Girl drank from a garden hose. You don't know how many times we drank from a garden hose. Now, that was back before when they made garden hoses out of real rubber. You know, they ain't just make-believe crap now.
Daddy won't let me drink out of the
these ones now, the BPA, you know. It's crazy what the stuff they have in things. But back then, stuff was real stuff. You didn't have to worry about that kind of stuff. But, you know, we're trying to get this ready for Paul and Amanda to be able to have their project there that they're wanting to do. I'm not going to spoil that for them because they have a project that they want to do. And it's mine and Wanda's desire to make sure that our neighbors, you know, we can help them out. They were helping us out with firewood, so we're helping them out. So Wanda and I, we took a few days off from gardening to go and do this. And now, guys, the real world begins. Gardening comes back, you know.
Well, we had to pick English peas. I think the day before we went over there and helped them the first time, we picked English peas and canned English peas that day. And then we helped them a couple of days. Then we picked English peas again and canned those. And the last couple of days, you've been cutting firewood.
I've been cutting and splitting firewood for 2 or 3 days.
And today we had to pick English peas again.
Pick English peas again. Now, we only picked each, you know, for the first time we picked 2.5 gallons, I think it was. The second time we picked 3 gallons. And today we picked 4, which is not a big picking for us, but it's okay. I mean, we need more than that, but it's what it is. You know, I mean, you can't make them do more than what they're doing. But now we think that maybe Monday
should be our big picking.
We should have a really good picking Monday. Maybe we're hoping for 5 to 6 gallons Monday, if at all possible, because that's what we really need each time is 5 to 6 gallons of English peas in order to have enough to can.
Hey, Bama says I was laughing because everyone had a chainsaw. It was actually fun to be doing something that, even though it was work. And what does Paul look like? Amanda will show you.
Amanda will show you when it's time. Okay.
He's kind of a little bashful.
Well, he's not bashful. He's just it's their story, and I'm going to let them tell it. You know.
So we have agreed not to. Well, we've not even put anything out there for a long time. We've not said much about Freedom Makers or anything. Just letting her do her thing.
Yeah, that's her channel.
And it's her channel to do her stuff.
It's their journey.
She wants it. And so we agreed not to put too much out there and leave it alone. And she had a video to go up the same day I did, but she didn't get hers edited because
hers won't be out till tomorrow or Monday, she said.
Yeah. And mainly because she went and got all this produce, and she brought me over the pineapples, the apples, and the butter.
Yeah.
And so I took apples and I dehydrated about half my apples. I canned my butter, half my butter, and I have pineapples that I've got to work with, but we're letting the pineapples ripen. So she got lots more stuff than I did. So check out her channel because she had a whole carload of stuff.
Debbie, she asked the question, how many English peas are we hoping for? Well, we have a video coming up talking about lunch and dinner, or dinner and supper, whatever you want to call it. Monday. And we talk about that a little bit in that, but we're hoping with what we need, a minimum of 65 pints a year is what we need in order for us to be sustainable on our English peas. We like to have more, but we shoot for 65 pints.
Lois was calling Paul Mr. Wilson.
Well, we've been
joking with him about being Wilson.
We've been joking with him about that. Yeah.
He's really a good guy, and you'll get to meet him and get to know him eventually, I hope. And we'll just leave it at that. But they do have a lot of projects coming up.
All I'll say is don't go back and watch all my old videos because he might be in one of them.
Yes. I think he's in 2.
I know.
Y'all go watch all our old videos.
Yeah, you'll have to go through them because I'm not telling you which ones it is, but he is in a couple of our videos.
Yes, he is. Actually, I know. Let's see. 2 I know of.
Yeah.
Maybe 3.
Maybe a 3rd one. That's right.
Yeah, I think he's in a 3rd one somewhere. And you hear his voice in another one because he's been in and out.
He's been in our videos long before Amanda ever came here. You know? Yeah.
So.
But he's in there.
Just for view's sake, y'all all go watch all our videos, and when you find him, come back and tell us where you found him. I will give somebody something if they find him in a video. That would be funny. That means we're getting our views up, right?
Yes, this is true. And wow, we got Miss Wanda actually made a what do you call that pie you made? That was a blueberry what?
Buttermilk pie. A
blueberry buttermilk pie. I'm gonna tell you something. When you live on a homestead and you got all this fresh produce, and it's just when your wife comes out there and she looks at you and she says, "Hey, I just made a blueberry buttermilk pie. You want some?" I'm like, "Do I want some?" You know, I shouldn't even be a question. You know. But anyway, I'm going to show you what I think we have it here, don't we?
Yes.
Let's see if I can find it here. Look at this.
Food is life, right?
Food is life.
Food is life. And your food doesn't have to be boring. This pie was awesome, and it was gluten-free, and Danny can eat it. I saw it on Facebook the day I made it. Somebody popped up one, and they used regular flour, regular buttermilk, and everything in it. But I swapped it to gluten-free, and I have a video on Crazy Days.
No, it's not too late for peas.
Yeah. And so go check it out on Crazy Days. I just took pictures along and told you what I did. but it is awesome. I've made the buttermilk pie before, just plain buttermilk pie, and then I've made it with pecans.
Right.
Danny loves it with pecans.
I love it with pecans.
But the blueberry was awesome too. So why couldn't you do it with anything you wanted? Add anything you want to it to make a pie this way.
It was some kind of good. Now I'm gonna tell you, that's one of the benefits to living on a homestead where there's just plenty of fresh stuff, you know, especially once you start foraging now.
Yeah, and I've been foraging for huckleberries. I've got, now huckleberries are tiny. I'm talking like a pinhead tiny, like my thumbnail tiny on my pinky. I've got 2 quarts already.
Yep.
And then I've got
dewberries.
2 quarts of dewberries.
Mayhaws.
And 2 quarts of mayhaws already that I've got. So I'm going to do mayhaw, hopefully mayhaw syrup instead of jelly this year.
But now I must say this. We received a gift from a friend. And I must say, I want to show you a picture of it. It goes with our cabin. It is, it's something that...
Well, actually, I bought it, and then one piece was a gift.
True.
I bought part of it. I'm gonna buy some more.
Wanda bought part of it. Part of it was a gift, and she's going to continue to buy because
I'm buying more.
we ordered this basically for the cabin. So I want to let y'all look at it. I want to show you what we've come up with here. Look at this: a his and her mug with a. Do you call this a homemade coffee pot?
It's a pour over.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put your coffee filter in it and your coffee or your tea, and you pour over it, and it makes 1 cup at a time. And this is from Reap What You Sow, and Jareth makes pottery. Each piece is her creation. She has a potter's wheel, and she fires it up, and she does an awesome job. And I'm going to be trying to get 2 plates, and she's supposed to be making me a butter dish, which is a butter dish with the top on it. And they're supposed to all be similar. The colors are gonna be similar. And Jareth at Reap What You Sow blended these colors. She had to work with it to get the kind of colors I wanted. She didn't even show it to me. She worked with Gemini Homestead, and Gemini knew the colors I was looking for. And so between the 2 of them, they came up with these colors. And if you see the curtain in the background, that is my curtain for the bathroom, which has the colors in it, and the blue is the towels and the rug.
The shower curtain she's talking about now.
Yes. Isn't that awesome?
Now the question was asked, where do we get the broadfork from? Mr. What's his name? He's from Minnesota. Easy Digger.
Look up Easy Digger.
Yeah, EZ. Now the letter Z.
Yeah, Easy Digger in Minnesota. If you type it in that way, I believe on Google, it'll pop it up and it'll give you his, I don't know if it's a website.
I think you go to the website, and from the website you can pick up
and
the type that you want.
Or whatever, because there's 2 different kinds. There's a small one and a large one. But type in EZ, as in Zoe, Easy Digger, and you can find it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't realize how old I am. I'm sorry.
Never enough time got their package today.
Yeah, I didn't realize how old I am. I'm starting to hurt all over now. This busting firewood and stuff's sitting here starting to bother me.
Oh, there's Dry Gulch and
a
bunch of others.
And then we also received a gift from someone. Is this one anonymous?
Yes, I don't know where this one came from.
We don't know. This could be a third party or someone just didn't want to know who it was. But we want to say thank you. I'm going to show y'all the next gift we received. It is in our cabin. It is in the window in front of the kitchen sink, looking out at Wanda's GreenStalk.
Yeah, my GreenStalk. I had to move it from where it was at to the back of the cabin so it didn't get too hot. And this little thing, the cabin is my happy place, was just perfect for that window. And
where'd you get your shower curtain? People love the colors.
Amazon.
That's all? Just Amazon?
Yeah, Amazon. I went shopping last Sunday on Amazon while we weren't doing anything. And I'd already found that shower curtain. You have to type in shower curtains and type in vintage. No, it was a vintage I think it was vintage or something, or rustic, one of the two words, vintage or rustic. And it looks like wooden planks with all those colors in it. And so that's all I can tell you right now. I mean, it's on Amazon. What should folks buy to begin a food pantry? What are the beginnings of food pantry? Because food
First
is
of all, I got to
life.
answer somebody else. So how old am I? The question is asked, Danny, how old are you? I am 60 years old. Fixing to be 60 years old.
Yeah. So
Okay.
if we're going to start a pantry, how would you start? Are you talking about like from the grocery store? So if you're talking about from the grocery store, they don't have food, pretend they don't have a garden, what would they do?
I would start out with dry goods and canned goods. That's what I'd start with. I get,
Yes.
of course, the old staples: beans and rice, cornmeal, flour. If you're
Sugar.
sugar. If you're gluten issue, then I probably would go with almond flour, something like that. Would start out with some oatmeal, grits, things to this nature. You know, if you're from up north, you can make polenta with the grits. I would probably start with canned goods, my canned green beans, canned corn, canned whatever you like. I'll probably do some rice.
Even with the canned goods, if you do canned meats, canned anything that you will eat, don't go buy 25 things of tuna fish if you don't like tuna fish.
Right. Only buy what you eat.
But if you like tuna fish and you catch it on sale and it's $2 for $1, buy you $5 worth or something and stick it up. But do the canned meats, the canned veggies, and the canned fruits. Don't forget your fruits. Yeah. And even things like soups and anything in a can.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter's good.
Peanut butter, jelly, anything like that. Things that you can make a quick things out of. Country Homestead Preacher said it's Jennifer's birthday today.
Hello, Jennifer. She's 21 years old.
She stopped aging at 21, it said. Not that she's 21. I know what age she is. She looks like she's 21. She looks like she's 21 years old. The girl, I thought she was a kid when I first saw her, but
yes,
very beautiful young lady. I mean, just outstandingly beautiful.
But back to the thing, you do need your basics. I would suggest you buy up spices. Either individual spices, or if you want to package them, we've done this with some stuff like chili mixes, spaghetti mixes, taco, fajita mixes, any of that kind of stuff in the individual packets. Then you can vacuum seal it in those vacuum seal bags and it lasts even longer.
And two, you want stuff that don't deteriorate, like honey. Honey lasts forever. Now it may turn to sugar, but you can always heat it up. It'll come right back. You still use it. It's still good. Things of that nature. That's what I would do. Now, guys, Ms. Wanda and I were talking about a while ago, we picked English peas today. We should give y'all a little bit of glimpse of some of our gardening stuff that's going on here so we can keep up with the theme for the night. There's cream of wheat, Jan said. I hadn't had cream of wheat since I was a kid. I can't eat it now because I got a gluten issue. But this is our English peas that we were picking this morning. This is the way they look. I mean, on all the rows. They are literally loaded, guys. This has been one of our better years for English peas. If we could get another week or two of cool weather, these things would they would probably continue to go and do really well. But we noticed because of some of the humidity we're having, we're starting to get the blight at the bottom. And usually once that starts, we only have like a week or so left of them.
Okay, somebody was up north asking, what is grits? Grits is simply
same thing as
corn.
polenta. It's ground up corn like you make polenta out of.
They wanted to know, is it like cream of wheat? Cream of wheat is ground up wheat.
Wheat.
And so it was corn instead of wheat.
It's corn.
So it would be similar. You can eat it with butter. Grits I like it with butter. Lots of people, though, will put sugar in it and eat it like they would cream of wheat or something.
Chuck says, Danny, you're only 60. Heck, you ain't even whooped yet. That's hey. It ain't the age with me, my friend. It's the miles. Danny's done been a long way and had a hard road.
Shield Maiden says, what state are we in? We're in Mississippi.
Mississippi, the southern part of it, about 30 miles north of the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Okay, it says Gail Watkins sent the happy place. Okay, Gail, thank you.
Okay.
I didn't see that earlier, but Mary Beth was saying that it was from Gail.
Okay, let's check out this next scene right here. Look at here. This is our garden at the time. I was going through checking the tomatoes. This was yesterday. I was checking the tomatoes. The okra is right behind me. And then we have squash, which is the gold prize from Hall's Tool. Then behind that, we have the peaches and cream sweet corn. And of course, in the very far background, you can see the English peas. The garden is doing fantastic.
This is just one of them.
This is just one of our 7 gardens. Danny, do you have a guide on when to plant what always seems to be behind the curve? Abundantly Blessed, I don't really have a guide. I go by the weather. And that's just something I've always done, is I plant according to the weather and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't really have a planting guide. I mean, I just know what comes first. I know I have potatoes, not sweet potatoes, but Irish potatoes, English peas.
And we usually plant those end of January to 1st of February.
End of January, 1st of February. We start our plants in the greenhouse probably 1st of February to have them ready to go by. Some years we have a warm February, some years we have a cold February. But this year we had a cold February, and so we didn't get our plants. Like our sweet corn is the next thing in line, and it comes usually the 1st of March. So we progressively go down the list and do things.
Yeah. And ours would be different from other people because some people can't plant till
June.
April, May, and June. Yeah. So it's according to where you live.
Depends on where you live at. Now this is another garden shot right here.
This is the other end.
This is the other end looking.
Our lemongrass is finally popping and looking good.
But this is the lemongrass, the English peas, and the sweet corns on the left right there, the peaches and cream. Just a little bit of view of our garden area there. Now, keep in mind, I want y'all to think about something. There was a very well-known official for the United States by the name of Henry Kissinger. Many of y'all will remember Henry Kissinger.
They said their sweet corn's tossling too early too. Ours
is starting to tossle at 2 feet high.
Yeah.
But Henry Kissinger made a very profound statement while he was in the White House under the president. He said, "Whoever controls the food controls the people." And guys, there's never been a more true statement that's ever been made. Today, there is a movement going on in the world for quote-unquote certain ones to be able to control the food supply. And whoever controls it will control the population. Now, if you guys will, I have a video coming up over on Patreon. When will it be? Next couple of days?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Hopefully.
Hopefully tomorrow. This one might blow your socks off. Some of you may know it. Some of you may not. There's some information that I've come across. I've been following it now about a week or so. I've been trying to figure out how to put a video up about it and how to actually explain it. But it's some serious end-time prophecy, I believe. And it ties in with COVID-19. It ties in with some of the other things going on. And it really, I think I portrayed it in a way over on Patreon that people are going to really get some information out of this and really enjoy it. So if you want to know, you have to go to Patreon, check it out, because I think it's going to be a good video.
All right. What do I use the lemongrass for? Right now, it's just a pretty border, but I use it in tea sometimes.
Use it in tea, use it cooking.
I don't do a whole lot of Asian cooking, but I have neighbors that do. They like the stuff in Asian dishes. But for the most part, I just like it for a border. That we have it for medicinal purposes if we need it. I had a granddaughter a couple of years ago that she was like me. She's very highly allergic to poison. So I made a lemongrass tincture and sent it to her to put on her arms and stuff when she came in contact with it. So it has a lot of medicinal purposes, and I like having it on hand. It's just something good to have on your place. You just don't have to have as much as I have.
Have y'all heard that colossal peas has been discontinued? I know what they are. I haven't heard that they've been discontinued. I know I've seen a few places say they sold out, but
The video will be up tomorrow on Patreon, and the food video we're going to be doing will be Monday on Deep South here on YouTube.
Yeah, we got a couple of videos actually coming up. 4
companies own the food supply or control it.
Control the food supply in the United States, which is that's pretty accurate.
Getting pretty close.
Can you dehydrate lemongrass? Yes, you can.
Henry Kissinger.
He served under President Nixon. Yeah.
Yeah, you were saying, and I don't know if you ever said his name.
I didn't say which president he served under because at the moment it wasn't.
Yes, you can dehydrate lemongrass and use it. It's very good dehydrated to use in teas and things like that.
What do I think about the outlaw of the sale of seeds up north? Well, I only got 2 words to say about that. One is Bernie Sanders. The other is a lady that wants to run on his ticket. If you look at the governor and the 2 states, you'll find out they both coincide. They're both big advocates of Agenda 2030. So you just put 2 and 2 together and you come up with the answer on that. Now, let's see here. Miss Wanda fixed a meal out of stuff from our garden.
I did.
I want to show you.
I do it all the time.
She does. This is a daily thing for her.
Yeah.
I think she just gets a kick out of seeing
pretty food.
Just how pretty she can make her plate look. So I'm going to show you all this. Look at this. You want explain to them what's on this plate.
Fresh tomatoes, fresh cucumber, fresh green peas or English peas, fresh asparagus. Then we got the apples from Freedom Acres when she went to the case sale. I got a case of apples. And then I opened some of my red hot pickles. Now, y'all, if you've never had cinnamon pickles before, you got to look at, I think it's on Crazy Days. It's called red hot pickles or something like that. I forgot how I worded it. That is the most awesome pickles ever. Isn't that plate pretty with all the color on it? And I did, tonight I did turkey with relish and I took my turkey relish. I added an apple. I added the green peas and all to it and a little bit of a fresh onion. I found an onion outside that had fallen over in the wayside and I added it to it.
Yeah. Okay. Questions being asked. What do we use for weeds? Well, we got a couple of things we use for weeds. One is row cover so that we don't have weeds. Secondly, if we have to kill them with anything, we take salt and vinegar and make a solution with salt and vinegar, and we have a little pump-up 2-gallon sprayer. We pump it up, take the salt and vinegar solution and spray it. As long as you don't spray it on metal or any kind of fencing that's metal or anything like that, you're fine. Just don't get on your garden plants or anything like that because it will kill them within hours. So that's what we use for the weed control here. Now, as most of y'all know...
Somebody's saying no meat. I don't always eat meat every meal.
No, we don't eat it every meal. Now, Wanda don't. I do. I eat meat every meal because I have to have protein every 2 hours.
But I eat it most of the time. And in our video Tuesday, we figure meat for both of us, 2 meals a day. Both of us, so that's 4 things of meat. We figure that, but I don't always eat meat. He does.
I do.
So I like my veggies, and that's just part of, I like to eat in season.
Yeah, Wanda eats totally in season most all the time. Most of it's fresh food that hasn't even been cooked.
Yeah, I like that way. And so when I have it, I'm going to be eating that way. And if I have meat, like if I fix chicken, I might eat a little piece of chicken or something. I'm not the big meat eater. I like a little bit of meat. Okay,
Wanda's pickles are always crisp. And Mimsy asked, when do you harvest your elephant garlic that you plant in the fall? It will probably be... probably around May. It depends on the weather because you'll know when it's time. When the bottom 3 to 4 leaves on your garlic start turning brown, then it's time to harvest them.
Somebody asked about the Kogan grass. I haven't even been out there.
It's dead and gone.
The pigs took.
The pigs eat a lot of it up, but when I put the salt on the rest of it, it's gone. We don't even have any. I mean, I went out there the other day and looked, and I don't even see where any's even at. So. And
Paul's trying to get his part under control on his side. We'll see.
We'll see. But I mean, there's not even any on his side for him to get under control. I mean, that salt's killed it all.
What did I do with the case of apples? I took half of them and I dehydrated them, and then I took and vacuum sealed them in individual little bags so that when we open them, we just have a small amount. So we have dehydrated apple chips. And we've been eating some fresh, and I have about enough to do another dehydrator probably tomorrow or the next day.
I don't know what ratio of salt and vinegar do we use. Oh man, let's see. It was
When is candy corn season?
It was a half a cup of salt, and it was also dishwashing liquid. There was 2 tablespoons of dishwashing liquid, a half a cup of salt, and a cup of vinegar, I believe it was, and I mixed them together.
Julie Nelson, thank you for the prayers. Peace upon y'all and your country. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. How do you know when it's time to harvest potatoes? When the plants are dead and gone. That's the easiest way to know. Okay. All y'all know we've been helping Amanda and Paul with the firewood, cutting and clearing their property. Well, Miss Wanda snuck out there and took a picture of me from behind with me getting ready to start splitting more firewood. I just cut these blocks up. And I think right now we only like 1 run in the smokehouse, 1 stack, woodshed, to having our first woodshed full of firewood, and we've got another woodshed ready to be stacked.
Mama Tribe wants to know, do I have a good dill pickle recipe that stays crisp? Well, the way I do dill pickles is I go ahead and get my lime, and I put my pickles in lime water, leave them overnight, then put them in ice water, then for 3 hours or so, then I use the dill pickle recipe. Because the thing that makes your pickles crisp is the lime and the ice water. If you don't do that step first, your pickles could get soggy. So try it and see if it works for you.
Questions asked, what do we think about what's going on in Michigan? We talked about that a while ago. The lady that's the governor in Michigan is actually wanting to run on Bernie Sanders' ticket, so she's kind of following suit of Bernie Sanders in Vermont. They're more about Agenda 2030 and socialism than anything else, so I'm not going to really get deep into that.
All right.
Okay.
I got my first tomato from my GreenStalk.
Check this out. Wanda harvested her first tomato from her GreenStalk. Yes.
Y'all, I have one at the cabin. Y'all saw out the window earlier, and this one has been in the little mini greenhouse. And we've got the greenhouse off of it. I have the shade cloth over it now. And this tomato plant is the one I was harvesting off of last fall. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you, Susan.
Oh, thank you. So last fall, I harvested quite a few tomatoes, probably 6 or 8 off of this one tomato. And it made it all winter in the mini greenhouse, and it started blooming again. And you can see in the background other tomatoes on it. But today I picked this one that was ready. And I have onions, I have Malabar spinach, I have rainbow chard, and I planted some beans in some of the empty spots. So we're going to see how the GreenStalk here goes. And the one at the cabin has peppers, a couple of strawberries, and some lettuce in it. It's really getting too hot for lettuce, but hey, you know, I'm trying.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, Bernie Sanders, I believe he may have stepped down. Were they giving Biden the whole ticket? I think even though, former President Obama's even backing Biden now.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's another story for another time. Now, a lot of y'all have been wondering what's going on in the greenhouse. What are we doing? Well, we got some video in the future about the greenhouse, but we thought we would take tonight and give you a little bit of a glimpse.
Because food is life.
Food is life.
And we are creating our own life.
Yeah.
We're controlling our life because we are growing our own food. And so that was what tonight was all about, is taking control of your life. How many of you go to the grocery store all the time? Probably most of you. So who's controlling your life? If you don't go to the grocery store and get something, then you're like, okay, I gotta go. You gotta go to that grocery store.
Yep.
So take control of your life. Get to growing stuff. So Danny wants to show you some of the greenhouse pictures, and then we'll do a greenhouse update maybe sometime this week.
But I'm going to give y'all a glimpse now. Remember, this is just a glimpse into the greenhouse. This is what we're doing. Look at this. This is what our greenhouse actually looks like when you walk into the front door of it. It is literally awesome, guys. This thing, and we're actively now fixing to start doing some more work on the greenhouse. We have other projects that we're putting in the greenhouse. It's very clean, it's very efficient, and it is very nice looking.
Yes, ants will chew and damage
Yes.
potatoes and
They'll
anything else underground.
They'll do potatoes, anything. They will actually. The question was asked, will they hurt my sugar cane? Yes, they will. They will destroy sugar cane too. Greenhouse number 2. Look at this. Does anyone know what this plant actually is here? This thing has took off and it is doing very well. And the smell when you walk in the door is unreal.
And we're going to do an update on Danny's little cuteness that I added yellow and orange to. So I don't know if you want to talk about it now. You're just waiting to do a video on how well our Vaseline covered items are.
They're actually working very well.
So we'll get to that. We'll do on the update video. We'll talk about those and how well they're doing.
Yeah, this here.
Thank you, Tyka Farms.
Thank you, Tyka Farms. We appreciate that.
That's not a greenhouse. That's a mom and pop grocery store.
Also, hey!
We need a sign that says our grocery store.
We ought to do it. We're to put that up there. That's good. I like that, Gemini.
Thank you, Tyka.
Thank you.
Grits in a bowl with bacon, eggs, and cheese.
Oh, now that I love.
Grits.
Cheese grits and a little crumbled up bacon in it. That's Southern living there, my friend.
Yes.
But yeah, that's
living.
No, that's at its best there now. Okay.
The next greenhouse.
What fertilizer do you use on your basil? We just amended the soil before we ever planted the basil in the ground. We put our lime and our ammonia and our phosphorus and our potassium and all this kind of stuff in the ground, and we just tilled it all in and planted in on top of it.
What will cause bush beans to turn yellow? The leaves.
Well, it can be too cold. It could be a lack of ammonia or nitrogen, should I say. It could be several things.
Oh, one guy, Dope Heathen says, I bet my fire ants wouldn't eat my wife's cooking. I bet they would too. They eat anything.
They eat anything. Fire ants are from the pit of hell. Okay, look at this. This is a.
It smells so good.
This is a lemon tree here, ain't it?
Yes. Yeah. It smells so good. This was in the greenhouse at the barn, and it bloomed and bloomed and bloomed, and we thought we were going to have a lot of lemons, and we moved it in here. It was getting too hot in the other one, and most of them fell off. I think you've got 2 or 3 lemons on it.
I still got 2 or 3 lemons on it, yeah.
But it's blooming again, so we may get a good harvest.
It just got too hot in the other greenhouse.
And somebody's asking, how do we control the heat in this greenhouse? Right now, it's been pretty cool. We
have automatic vent openers at the top that once the temperature reaches 75 degrees, they automatically just start opening up. And we have the sides up on it so that it creates a vortex in it. I'm actually in the process now. I got a new product to go in my greenhouse that I'll be installing this week. We might even have a video about that to help control even more of the problem.
So because we haven't gotten to the heat of the summer yet.
No, we haven't even got there
We've actually had very cool temperatures for South Mississippi right now.
Yes, Meyer lemon. Yes.
So, okay, next greenhouse picture.
Let's see here. Oh, that's the same one. Move up. There we go. Look at this, guys.
These are my bush beans. They're supposed to be bush beans. I'm not sure they're bush beans. They want to crawl all over everywhere.
They want to grow everywhere, but look at that raised bed at those beans.
They're beautiful.
Those things are just outstanding. Beans produce their own nitrogen, but sometimes they need a little extra to prevent the yellowing of the leaves. That's true when they first start off. They will produce their own nitrogen more toward the end.
Carolyn says she's going to get a greenhouse like ours ASAP. Check out Grower Solutions. They let us know this week.
Yes.
Come Tuesday, they're going to be up and running. We're probably going to try and do a video around Wednesday talking about it, the greenhouse and Grower Solution. But guys, Grower Solution's been shut down because of this virus going around, but they are going to be back up and running. They're going to be doing their mask and things that they need to do, social distancing. everything they can do to keep themselves up and running and getting out the greenhouses again.
Yeah, that's
so y'all check out
Grower Solutions. We have a promo code Deepsouth. If you use it, you get a 10% discount on anything you buy. I mean, we don't get anything from it, but you get a 10% discount. That's a deal that we cut with the company.
There's two things you can't get.
Shade cloth.
Shade cloth and specialty items.
Yeah.
If anything Grower Solution, you get the 25% off.
Yeah. Good night, Joy.
So check them out, and we'll probably be doing the update on the greenhouse before long, but picture number 5.
Ta-da! Look at here, guys.
I am actually getting cucumbers.
This is in the greenhouse now. I'm hand pollinating them.
I went in there and I saw this pretty little thing, and I was going, "Oh my goodness!" Because I've been getting them out of the field for a week and a half.
Yeah, out of the garden we've been getting them.
Out of the garden, and I said, "Why aren't they growing in the greenhouse? Why aren't they producing?" I thought maybe he didn't do something right, but he did, and I found this one. And y'all look what else I found. That's a little one compared.
That's a little one compared to right below it. She picked this one.
Look, this is my hand. This thing is this big around. I can't even reach around it. If y'all can see, where am I at? Nope, this way. This is this big around. This is a huge, huge thing. The other one was half this size. And then I found a third one. So the greenhouse had 3 cucumbers. And guys, the greenhouse is not about how much food we can grow. It's about what kind of food we can grow and experimenting to see what will grow in the greenhouse for future use. And so now I have enough cucumbers between the field and the greenhouse that I will make some kind of pickle, something. I've had several people ask
probably
about
make some
pickles.
relish.
Yeah, we like relish.
We like relish more than anything else.
I don't do a whole lot of pickles. I do my refrigerator pickles, which is on Crazy Days.
Yep.
And they got to go over there and check that out.
Yeah. If you want to see a lot of the stuff that goes on at Deep South Homestead that we don't really show at Deep South Homestead, like cooking videos, Wanda specialty stuff, you got to go over to Crazy Days, her channel, because that's where she puts a lot of that stuff at. We don't have room on Deep South to put everything. So a lot of it goes over to Crazy Days.
Yes, and y'all, when I hit 10,000 subs, Wanda is going to give away a 4-tier GreenStalk.
Yes! Somebody's going to be the lucky winner of a 4-tier GreenStalk when Wanda reaches 10,000 subscribers.
Yes, I thought I would do that, and I said, you know, that's going to be my biggie because I show the GreenStalk on Crazy Days a lot. I really like my GreenStalk. And so I thought I would do that.
You want to know what kind of cucumbers are there? We have 2 different kinds. We have Stonewall.
Let me see.
And we have National Pickling.
They're both from Hoss Tools. I started them in a Hoss Tools seed tray. And the Stonewall is the long ones.
Yeah.
This one is a National Pickling cucumber. But the Stonewalls make a long green, really green, darker green, shiny pickle, and they're both so crispy. I mean, I don't think I've had as crispy a pickle or a cucumber as these. The
Stonewalls are just like, I mean, they're like snap when you bite into one of them. They're really crispy.
Yes, the buttermilk blueberry recipe is on Crazy Days. I put it up this morning, I believe, or yesterday. I didn't forget. I think I did it this morning.
Tammy says, why are seeds deemed non-essential? Well, when you got wackos up there trying to make decisions and they want you to be 100% dependent on the government, then all they got to do is if they outlaw seeds and you can't grow your own food, then you got to be dependent on somebody. So when you're not self-sustainable, you got to depend on someone. That's their mentality.
And that's why we said take control of your life.
Yeah.
When you grow your own food, you're taking your life back, even if you don't grow all of it. And Rhonda just got her GreenStalk.
Yeah, yay!
And yeah, GreenStalk would be awesome. See, a lot of people like the GreenStalks because they don't have any room. And so keep your eyes out for planters and things that you can use on your porches, your carports, your sidewalks, in your yard, whatever. But the GreenStalk doesn't take up much space, and you can grow something in it. It's not that hard. It's not the some people's. I had one lady tell me, she said it was so difficult to grow in. It really isn't. You have to figure out what grows in it in your zone. put that in it. Don't put too many seeds in it or too many plants.
No.
And keep it watered every day.
Just keep it watered every day. That thing will Cadillac, man.
Fertilize it every 2 weeks.
Yep.
I mean, it will grow like crazy. I've never had anything grow that crazy. Susie says she loves her GreenStalk.
Yeah, everybody.
They're on sale. She says they're on sale now. I hadn't went and looked, so y'all check out GreenStalk. When they run a sale, they run a really good sale. And I usually try to promote it, but we just hadn't had time to keep up with everything.
We can't keep up with nothing. And two, guys, go check out My Patriot Supply. We have a link in the description down below.
Water with Deep South.
We have a promo code there called Water with Deep South.
No, the site we have is called Water with waterwithdeepsouth.com.
Yes, that is the site that we have with My Patriot Supply. That is correct.
Yes, if you get something on that site, that helps us out.
Yeah.
And they have all kinds of
they got
freeze-dried foods,
all kinds of survival stuff. They got Alexa Pures, water purification systems. They got the filters. They got anything that you need to survive with. And Wanda and I have been stocking up on stuff with My Patriot Supply. We cut a deal with them to kind of, let us be an affiliate with them so we can help you guys out. And it's really, I'm going to tell you what, it's some of the best stuff that we've come across out there. Now, we don't do the gold and the silver and all that kind of stuff in My Patriot Supply because that's not what we're interested in. We're interested in surviving with food, and they have lots of stuff there.
Gail is getting a 20 by 28 greenhouse. Hers is on the way.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Julie just reminded me, doTERRA's having a BOGO Monday. It means you buy one, get one free. They'll list things, so if you want to be checking that. Somebody just said that the GreenStalk was marked down $30 or something. I done forgot. Anyway, they posted the price now as opposed to regular price. So
Camper Life says they're going from 60s to 100 by Friday. Will my peas survive a couple of days of those temps? They will if you can keep them watered in the morning before the sun comes up. Do not water them in the heat of the day. Either water them late in the afternoon right before dark or very early in the morning before the sun comes up.
Do we make apple cider vinegar? No.
No, we don't do vinegar much at all.
Have we grown celebrity or beefsteaks? Danny grew 162 celebrities. We have them everywhere.
We have 162 tomato plants out, and they're doing, for the first time, every one of them must have lived.
No, I think he planted 162 and probably 155 of them at least.
Yeah, them things are everywhere. And they're up like, some of them's like 3 feet tall. Blooming, got stalks as big as your thumb on them. I mean, they're just huge.
He intended to sell them at the gathering. When we couldn't have the gathering because of this virus, we had to plant them.
And I gave away some.
True. So maybe we're down to 125.
Maybe we're back to 125, yeah.
So we've got a lot of tomatoes. Plus, I planted, what was the 2 I planted? Tachi?
Tachi and Bella Rosa.
Bella Rosa from Haas Tools. So I have about 8 or 10 in my little garden of those. So we've got tomatoes everywhere.
Yeah.
And they're blooming, all of them. Yeah, weather's headed into deep
we got
south,
weather headed in bad, guys.
It's almost 9 o'clock, so we will be getting off shortly if it starts really going crazy.
Do we pick our garlic flower buds off or leave them? We just leave them. We got so much garlic, guys. I mean, we got garlic on top of garlic on top of garlic.
Who has the BOGO? doTERRA Essential Oils. There's a link in the description. I am a wellness advocate for doTERRA. So if you have anything that you would like with essential oils, I really think everybody ought to have an essential oil medicine chest on hand. If nothing else, this virus should have told you guys you need something on hand at home that you can do yourselves, because they tell you not to come to the hospital, to stay at home. So that means anything that's going on, if it is not an emergency, you need to deal with it yourself. And having some essential oils on hand is a must. I'm just going to say, I've been telling y'all for a couple of years, you needed something on hand, now's the time you really should have essential oils on hand.
It's not too late to plant tomato plants. You can plant tomato plants all summer long. You know, that's one thing that.
Where are the green stalks from again? Denise can put up a link for the green stalks if she doesn't mind, and they're in the description. It's GreenStalk vertical planters. All right, garlic and honey. A lot of people like to do garlic and honey and have them on hand. If you're planting anything, let me just say, if you're a first-time planter and you're going to plant anything, garlic is one of my #1 choices to plant somewhere on your place, to have garlic, because it is a helpful plant anytime you're sick.
Yes.
If you've got garlic, you can make a tea with it. You can bite into it and just let the juices run down your throat. There's so much you can do with garlic for any kind. I don't care what's wrong with you.
John, the name of the greenhouse company is Growers Solutions.
Yes.
Check them out. Use the promo code DeepSouth and get 10% off. I love planting the suckers. Some people do. We have so many this year. We don't worry about planting suckers. Is it too early to plant any food? I have sprinkled snow today. So she said it's still too early to plant food there. Okay, elderberry syrup that makes what we have every day. I have some solid black cherry tomato seeds to plant. So they are great. They're really good. I can tell you, we've grown those before. They're really, really good.
The blue tomatoes was one of my favorite. The blueberry.
It
blueberry?
The blueberry one is our favorite.
They were the indigo series.
Indigo series.
Those were awesome.
Can you plant garlic 2 times a year? Yes, you can plant it in the spring and you can plant it in the fall.
And we have garlic chives, and we keep those year round. You can stick them in the ground, and they'll grow like crazy. I've noticed this year that the pear, cherry, and plum trees here are producing well. So far, if they don't get frozen. Yeah, a lot of our trees bloomed out really early. The blueberries are loaded. The huckleberries, like I said, this is probably one of the biggest huckleberry harvest, and they're huge. They're bigger than normal huckleberries. They're getting really big.
And Lou brought up a very good point here. Sometimes we fail not to mention some things. Garlic and blood thinners do not go together. You know, that's something that you need to check out. Do your own research now.
True. Yes.
We're not medical professionals. We just
clove oil. Yes, that's one thing.
Clove oil is good for toothaches.
I keep that on hand.
We keep that, and it's a little tiny bottle, but it's expensive, but it works.
Plus, I have doTERRA.
Yeah.
I keep that kind of stuff on hand.
Oh, let's see here. Any greens are not good for blood thinners. Well, if you're on Coumadin or one of the blood thinners like that, they tell you not to eat greens because they have a lot of vitamin K. Okay. Vitamin K is a blood clotter.
Jonathan asked, what should I read next after the Matthew, Mark, Luke, John? Love you guys. What's the next? Romans?
Romans.
Go into Romans.
Go into Romans.
Acts and Romans.
Yeah. Well, Acts is a little bit difficult to understand.
Really?
Yeah. The Apostle Paul, when he wrote his journeys and stuff like that, the Acts. It's basically Acts is the Acts of the Apostles.
Yeah.
So I would
on to Romans.
Go over to Romans because Romans would be your next best.
Yes.
Lou says Texas got hail tonight. Prayers for those. Ooh, always hate hail. No matter how good a garden you got, hail can destroy it in just a few minutes.
Yeah, and guys, this virus, a lot of people have mixed feelings. Danny and I have mixed feelings. We know a lot of this is not about the virus.
None of it's about COVID-19. Lots of people are dying from it, but it's not about the virus.
There's hidden agendas, so pay attention.
Yeah.
But this week, we got kind of a few days of worry, I guess. My oldest daughter, she has 7 children. The 2 youngest are twins that are 6 months old, girls. Her father-in-law, my daughter has not been anywhere in weeks.
She's been quarantined in her house for weeks.
She doesn't go anywhere because of the babies. And her 5-year-old had RSV when she was young, so she didn't want her exposed to it. She's been staying home. The only person she's ever been around was her father-in-law who has cancer, and they help with him. And she was around him last week and took him to the cancer center, dropped him off, and picked him back up. And then over the weekend, Easter weekend, she was around him for a few minutes because they took him lunch. And he had pneumonia that week, last week, or week before last, actually.
Nice,
and he wasn't getting over it. And so her husband took him back to the doctor because the pneumonia wasn't getting any better. And he tested positive for the coronavirus, which meant her husband had to be tested because he was with him. And he had to call her and all 7 of the babies had to be tested. And so I think it was Thursday we found out they were all negative. Thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
They were negative. But her father-in-law is fighting cancer. He is taking radiation, and it is lung cancer. So it is very dangerous for him. And so we want to keep him in the prayers this week. And I had an uncle who tested positive 2 weeks ago. He was very sick for about a week. He's better now. His wife tested negative, even though she was with him the whole time.
I thought she tested positive but had no signs.
That's right. She tested positive,
yeah,
but she never showed any symptoms. So their 14-day quarantine will be up tomorrow. He did get sick. She did not. So it is real. It is going around. There's lots of people have it. But thank goodness I don't know.
Well, the only thing
that's passed from it.
Yeah, we've got a few more things y'all want to go through before we have to get off of here. Because we're fixing to be 9 o'clock. Let's see, we done that one.
Yeah. Okay, this is what our cucumber vine looks like, guys. It is going all the way up the top.
Almost to the top of the greenhouse.
The trellis that Danny built. It is awesome. So when we show a walk-through thing, you guys will be able to see how tall and beautiful this cucumber. Well, it's actually, 3 or 4 plants?
It's 3 plants.
3 plants, all the way up to the top of the greenhouse. Or the top of the, how tall is that piece of?
It's 7 foot to the side of the greenhouse.
7 foot tall.
That's a 7 foot tall trellis in the greenhouse. Yeah. Now we have another thing here. This is Wanda's asparagus in the greenhouse.
Yeah, a lot of people wanted to know about asparagus, and we're letting it go to fern. And I don't think I've harvested any out of it. That's one stalk you can see in the foreground here. But for the most part, we're letting it go to fern this year, and we will harvest next year or in the fall or whatever.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And this is an experiment here. We went to the U-Picket last year. And when we got out there, we were amazed to find that they grew onions under black plastic. So I come up with this theory. I said, well, if they can grow onions under black plastic, maybe I can grow onions with the row cover. So this is what we come up with. Look at this, guys. This is
a sneak preview.
Sneak preview of our onions on black row cover. From Grower Solutions.
Yes. Danny grew these from seed. Now, he's never used seed before.
Nope, I've always just bought the plants from Dixondale. But this year, Hoss Tool, I got the seeds from Hoss Tool, and I grew my onions from it. And guys, this is the results of using the black plastic. No weeds. Just dump the water to them and fertilize. And let me tell you something. Them babies is Cadillacing, guys.
Yes, you can grow cucumbers and tomatoes in the GreenStalk planter. They also have what they call supports that go around it. So if you take and buy the supports, I have the supports. It'll help hold the plants up. In the bottom, you can put things that grow tall and put the supports, and it'll help keep them up. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so from this point forward, at Deep South, we will be growing our onions on the row covers. Yeah. Because we take a little torch, burn a little tiny hole in it, put the little onion plant down in it, and guys, just water them, fertilize them, and they just Cadillac. They don't have to compete with weeds. The black row cover warms the ground up. It holds the moisture under it. The sun doesn't evaporate it out. It's really good.
Tamara said she has had a lot of health problems and a stroke. So we want to remember Tamara. She was one of our friends that's been to the gathering,
yeah.
helping us with a lot of stuff. So we want to keep Tamara in our prayers.
How does it take? How long does it take asparagus to come up? Not long at all. It comes up pretty quick.
Within the maybe 3 weeks, something like
Couple
that.
Weeks,
if the ground's warm enough.
If the ground, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Robin said she got the supports too for the GreenStalk.
Buy any DeWitt row cover is what you want. We use
the DeWitt.
Yeah, we use 3 mil. They make a lot of different mils. But this is the way to grow onions, guys. I'm gonna tell you, it's the most simple way we've ever found
when
to
do
grow
you
onions.
Start the onion seeds?
I started my onion seeds the end of September, early October last year.
Yeah.
Because you want to have them in the ground by November the 1st.
Sherry Oberman said put her on the prayer list. She just started her chemo. Georgia Peach says they're growing onions this year in the ground cover. Oh wow. They just seem to do better. I don't know why.
They do. And then we got one thing here. This is Miss Wanda's pomegranates. Look at this.
I actually have 3 or 4
she has
that
some
are
small
growing,
pomegranates. It's actually
and it's still blooming all over everywhere. But you can actually see the pomegranates.
Some of them are male blooms and some of them are female.
Yeah.
Looks like I was looking at that.
But I mean, I actually have poms on there this year. So if nothing happens, I might actually grow my own pomegranate this year. We're gonna just see how it goes throughout the year.
Sandy Spade, that is my asparagus went to fern and is 6 feet tall. Do you know what happened? That's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
The first 2 to 3 years of their life, they're supposed to go to fern. You're supposed to just leave them alone, let them grow. It puts all the energy back into the roots, and then on the 3rd year, you can begin to harvest.
Yeah. And if you want, I mean, I harvested the first year. When they would pop up and they'd get about this tall, I just break them off. Even though they were little, they don't grow big around like most people think they do. They don't come up tiny and then just fatten out. If they come up tiny, that's as big as they're getting, right? They never fill out.
Yeah.
Asparagus is a weird thing.
It's a weird thing. Now, somebody's asking the question, how do you fertilize the onions underneath the row cover? Well, first of all, you prepare the ground ahead of time, and you put the fertilizer in there. But in onions, I'm going to give away a secret here. I'm going to give y'all a secret, or should I?
You need to do your video on it.
I need to do my video. Okay.
I will know he knows how to fertilize onions now.
This is the bottom line. I'm not going to give away the secret to fertilizing onions. I have a video coming up this coming week, isn't it?
I don't know. Well, when are you going to harvest them? I thought you was waiting.
No, we're talking about fertilizing them.
Are you fixing to fertilize again?
No, we're fixing to harvest before long, but they want to know about fertilizing. Should I go ahead and tell them now? Or should we do a video on it?
Well, just tell them, and then you can reiterate when you harvest.
Okay, because probably different people watching the video anyway.
Yes.
Anyway, what you want to do, I'm going to tell you this. Now, pay attention. You can do any crop this way, not just onions. You can do anything any vegetable in the garden, you can do it this way because this is the simplest way not to damage the roots. You want to get you a screwdriver. Well, where am I at here? About this long. That's bigger than the screen is. A screwdriver you really need a flat-ended screwdriver that's about 12 inches long, and we got a big, wide, heavy-duty one. You want to take that thing about 2 inches from the onion on the edge of the row cover when it's growing, and you want to job that screwdriver down the ground about 6 inches. And you want to take it and wobble it around, kind of like you're doing a chinoy, like you're trying to take the seeds out of something. And you want to make a funnel-shaped hole, and I take a little 13, and I pour it down in that hole until it's level with the top of the ground, and I cover it up. I do that on one side of the onion all the way down through the garden, and then I water it real good. Now, you can do that with tomatoes. You can do that with peppers. You can do that with cucumbers. You can do it with squash.
You just don't get so close to the plant.
Stay about 2 to 4 inches. Now, tomatoes, I stay about 4 inches away. Cucumbers, about 4 inches away, stuff like that. But onions, I stay about 2 inches away.
Yeah, because they don't have big roots.
Their root system is they love nitrogen. Onions love nitrogen. So just remember that they love nitrogen and they love water. So I just do that, and look, let me tell you something. You'll see a difference in 2 days.
Yeah.
You will see a huge difference.
How big are the plant starts before you plant them outside?
His
was looking puny.
Mine was 4 inches tall. They were just a little tiny. Of course, when you set them out, you have to understand. You always clip the tops off of them when they're from seedlings. When they grow up and they get to be about 3 to 4 inches tall, you cut the top out of them, and you wait till they grow again. You cut the top out of them again, and then when they get to be about the size of your little finger or a little bit smaller, then you want to set them into the ground.
And how often do you fertilize?
I fertilize once every 2 weeks.
Okay. So that gets most everything. We've got a lot of people asking for prayer requests and things like that.
When can you plant onions? We plant ours in November in the Deep South. Now you can plant them in the spring, but they do better
for us. Now you may be different, so you have to know when to plant.
You got to know when to plant. RB says triple 13 has so much salt added now. Well, that's why you do soil analysis. We use triple 13 a lot in our bigger fields, and I always do a soil analysis, and I'm always like 0.01 on salt. My salt content is not even up, because I don't use that much, but I have to use some.
Yeah, and somebody said, what would you do if we don't have commercial fertilize?
Then you make you a tea. You take chicken manure, rabbit manure, cow manure, and you make you a good tea out of it, a compost tea. Let it set for a couple of days. Put you some stuff in a bag, like a nylon stocking or something like that, and submerge it down in a 5-gallon bucket of water. Let it set a couple of days. Take it out, and then punch the hole down beside it, and just pour some of that water or tea down in that hole.
Yeah. And see, we have chickens and cows, and we can make teas from that. We just don't right now because we have the ability to get the fertilizer. Danny is composting the chicken and cow manure for later, and he mixes in other things with it, and that's his compost pile. And when we've used most of it here lately, and he's had to start over again. So,
how do we get our analysis? We mail our soil samples off to the Mississippi State University. You can go to your county extension office, and they will tell you what to do or where to go. Let's see. Make sure time to sow is right. Make sure you pick the right onion for your area, whether you're a long day, short day, or day neutral. Yes. They have a chart you can go by. In the Deep South, we like the short day.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we got through.
For us to get through here. Okay.
Do y'all use banana water?
No.
Now we did get banana plants.
We got banana plants today from Keith.
I think his name was Keith. He's in Florida.
He's in Florida.
I know he's in Florida. So thank you for the banana plants.
Thank you. These are miniature, you said?
They're called, I forgot the name. Anyway, they're smaller. They only get 6 to 8 feet tall, I think. And his just had tags of bananas hanging on them. And he's in about the same zone area we are.
You're in zone 8B, I think. Yeah.
We're hoping to grow some bananas.
We planted them.
Our big banana trees.
We got banana trees right now. It's about 10 feet tall, but they don't have nothing on them. They never have any bananas on them. So
we think it's because we don't water enough.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, we got to get off of here, so we're going to have a prayer tonight. Thank you for the ones that's already put their prayer requests up. I want to continue to remember those Green Gregs. A lot of y'all may know Green Gregs. Green Gregs lost his brother to COVID-19
and his
a couple of days. His father died
3 weeks ago?
3 weeks earlier. His father passed away. He doesn't know if it was COVID-19, but he died from complications of something else. Pneumonia. But keep Green Gregs. He's a great guy. Has a good channel in your prayers. Want to keep Eric from Life and Farmland in your prayers. He's still dealing with some kidney issues, trying to get a transplant. And guys, there's a lot of people out there who need prayer tonight. There's a lot of this sickness going around from this Chinese virus, I'm gonna call it. That's really wreaking havoc on this country. And the sad part about it is it's not even about the virus. Guys, you need to go over to Patreon and watch my video coming up tomorrow.
North Star said his daughter is an ICU nurse in New York City. She said it's insane. Yeah,
it is.
Guys, it's really crazy what they're having to deal with.
Yeah, it is crazy. And you know, we're not making light of COVID-19. COVID-19 is real.
Very real.
It's very real. Our heart goes out to those who've lost loved ones and those who have it. The thing about COVID-19 is it damages the T cells in your body just like AIDS does. And it's not the COVID-19 that's going to kill you. It's going to be some complication from something else. So later down the road, possibly even. So be careful. Wanda and I are still taking precautions.
Yes, and the storms that are moving in last weekend, the storms that came through last Sunday
were an hour above us.
We forgot we were off after that happened. But last Sunday, the county above my kids or beside my kids was heavily damaged.
Yeah.
And I've seen some of the destruction that happened through there, and it's crazy. I think Mississippi, I forgot how many.
We had 22. Was it 22 deaths or something?
I don't know. It was on up there in Mississippi how many deaths there were, but there was a lot. This tornado was
bad.
And we have stuff moving in tonight, but it's not supposed to be as bad, but it may have some sales in it, so just keep that area again. And it wasn't just Mississippi; it was a whole.
There's Alabama and all across the
whole bunch
Texas.
Of people.
What is the Patreon address? Just Deep South Homestead. Just go over to Patreon and type in Deep South Homestead on Patreon, and it should come up.
And it's PATREON.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, we want to keep our country in our prayers, the president, different ones. I hope y'all will go over to Patreon. Not that we're trying to get anybody to pay. It has nothing to do with that. It's just that that's where we have our freedom to speak right now without having our channel pulled. And I've got some really good information that's biblical information that ties in with COVID-19. I think you'll be interested. And I think you'll be interested to figure out why it's actually happened and where it's going from here. So
yeah, there's underlying
things.
Just keep your eyes open and stay away from the virus as much as possible.
Yeah, okay.
That's all we can say.
We're going to go to the Lord in prayer. Father, we thank you so much tonight. You've been so good to us. And Father, thank you for those that's been in the chat tonight. We had a very good chat tonight. Good questions. We love good questions, Father. And I thank you that you've given us enough wisdom to be able to be a blessing to others, Father, because we've made a lot of mistakes in our life, and especially in gardening. And those mistakes, we want to be able to help people not make those same mistakes, but be able to give them some good information. We want to be able to show them our gardens and show them what's working, what's not working. Want to be able to put up videos, tell them what works in the Deep South, what doesn't work in the Deep South, what works in the heat, what doesn't work in the heat, Father. All these things we want to be able to show so that people can be more sustainable. We think about those here, Lord. There's lots of them tonight to put up prayer requests. I want to lift up every prayer request that's been mentioned here tonight and put it before you, Father, and ask that you answer those requests in a way that will best glorify your kingdom, Father, and be a blessing to the person also. Father, we want to remember Green Greggs and his family, the loss of the family there, the loved ones, and other people in here, Lord, that might have lost, anyone who watches this video that might have lost loved ones, Father. We want to just lift them up before you and ask that you give them comfort during these times of uncertainty. And Father, the ones that are having complications from the Chinese virus here, Father, we pray that they can overcome that and this evil can be put behind us now. We know that the country will never be the same again. It will always be different from this point forward. There is no way possible we can go back to what we once had. It will be different, just like it was after 9/11 and other things that went on in this country, Father. Everything will be different from this point forward. Give us the grace and the peace to be able to handle it now. Be with our leaders, our country, Father. Be with each person here tonight. May we all have an ample supply of food. May we have everything we need to keep our families safe through these uncharted waters that lies ahead of us, Father. Bless each and every one that's with us. Father, we want to praise your name. We want to edify and glorify you. And Father, we ask that you go with us now, that we might each have a wonderful rest tonight. And Father, the ones that's going to be in the paths of storms tonight, I pray that the weather will be gentle tonight, Father, and you will be kind to our land and kind to our farms, and lay the water, may it gently water our lands rather than having destructive weather now. We ask these things in thy name. Amen. Okay.
All right, guys, we're going to be doing a video or two on the cabin before long. We've been putting we haven't even put anything on Patreon on the cabin because we've not done much on the cabin.
We haven't done much on the cabin. We've been busy farming, greenhousing, cutting wood. So
we're going to get back on the cabin somewhat. We've got quite a few projects. Danny has one more on the greenhouse. Well, several actually, because I got
a couple of things on the greenhouse that's going to be.
We've got to do.
We've made some updates. Yeah.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you, Ron.
Ron has a new book out, and I don't have it with me. I started it in there, and I done forgot what it's called, so I have to do a video on some of Ron's books and stuff next week or so. Crazy Days is another one. I have not done as much on it as I wished I had, but I'm getting back in the swing, so I'm going to be trying to get some book reviews done on Crazy Days. I want to do some more cooking. I've got all kinds of stuff I want to do, so y'all join me over there. And
the questions asked is a video on Patreon going to be unlocked for everyone to see? It will if you pay to join. If you don't pay to join, it's not unlocked.
It's not public. Yeah.
It's not public. No, it's only for paid subscribers. Do we have a regular live time, Julie? Yes, every Saturday night, 8 o'clock Central.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so the cabin videos, we're going to be showing those. We're going to show the greenhouse. I've got a water thing we hadn't got done too.
Yep.
We got all kinds of stuff. And his water catchment, I forgot to take pictures of it. I did, but I didn't put them up. How far are you? How many gallons?
I'm up to 200 and something gallons of water caught in our rain catchment system.
It's a 300 gallon, and he's probably
It's 300, and I'm right at 200 and something. 220, 230, somewhere around there.
Okay, so we've got a good bit going. I hear thunder in the background. Which book would you recommend starting with? Ron Foster's The Longest Walk. Try that one first.
Miss Wanda, what is the name? How's your channel spelled?
CRAZY, crazy, DAZES. DAZES. That way you can find it. They were putting the link in. I don't know where Lippy went, but she usually puts a link in. So I guess we'll head out and we'll talk to y'all later because I can hear thunder in the background out the window.
Yeah, it'll probably be here before long. But we made it. Thank you, Never Enough Time, for putting that up.
Okay.
All right, guys, we fixing to get off of here. Yes, Bambi, thank you for that comment. That is very true. $3 is a very minimal amount for the amount of time we put into those videos. Yes.
All right, see you
guys. Which
onions
onions are best for zone 7? Probably zone 7, you would either need day neutral will work in zone 7, and short day varieties may, you're right at the borderline there, so short day, but I would go with day neutral if it was me.
Yeah. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later.
Good night, everybody. You gotta turn it off.